Welcome to Dr. Balaga's God Knowledge Doc podcast, your quick dive into the latest medical breakthroughs to keep you ahead of the curve. Let's get started. Today is November 1st, 2025. This video is on a Lancet article published online on 23rd October, just last week, titled DAPT or Dual Antiplatelet Therapy After PCI According to Bleeding Risk. It's a host-BR and open-label, multi-center randomized clinical trial. Prior evidence is sparse for those who face a major risk of bleeding at 1 year. So this study was an open-label, multi-center randomized controlled trial in South Korea to determine the optimal duration of DAPT after PCI. The study cohort comprised of 4,897 individuals. 1,598 were in the HBR group, had HBR, high bleeding risk, and 3,299 had non-HBR, or lower bleeding risk. They were randomized 1 versus 3 months to DAPT, the HBR group. The non-HBR group, 3 months versus 12 months of DAPT. Follow-up, 12 months duration, outcomes adjudicated. Primary endpoint was net adverse clinical events, death, myocardial infarction, stent thrombosis, stroke, and major bleeding. What did they find? In the high bleeding risk group, 1 month DAPT was worse than 3 months of DAPT, 18.4% versus 14%. So p-value is 0.82, non-inferior. The non-HBR group, that is a lower bleeding risk group, 3 months was non-inferior to 12 months, 2.9% versus 4.4%, p-value 0.0001. Bleeding was lower in the non-HBR 3-month group. Limitations, open label, mostly clopidogrel, Korean population, so the generalizability in the all over the world needs to be taken into account. Key takeaways: avoid 1 month DAPT in those with ARC-HBR, that is high bleeding risk. 3 month DAPT is safe and reduces bleeding in the non-HBR cohort. Clinical pulse: in high bleeding risk patients, they benefit from at least 3 months of DAPT. A 3-month DAPT strategy fits the global short DAPT trend. It's important here the Asian antiplatelet phenotype is relevant. The keys to Tailor therapy along the bleeding and thrombotic risk spectrum. Shared decision making is still essential. That's in a nutshell about this paper. This frame is about eponyms and key terms. Hit pause if you want to know more. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your colleagues. When we change how we see disease, we change how we shape lives. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep seeking wisdom. Podcast brought to you by masterbedfacts.com. This podcast is for physicians and healthcare providers. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and forward to your friends.